What's up, fam? I'm on my IG Live. You see, they got the triple OG out here today. You know, I'm happy to announce my new talk show called Truth Talks. Now you can tune in. You got to head over to Foxhole or over on YouTube. We're going to be talking about some really deep stuff, different than anything you've seen on any other network, on MSNBC or even of our step cousins over at Fox. So, you know, are y'all ready to roll with me? So I know I'm waiting on more people to come in. I never go live. I never save the video. I never share the video. So this got to be really big for me to be doing this. All right. So I'm waiting on y'all to come in because I got Dr. Bryant on here. I got Willie Moore Jr. and I got Bree Renee. So for me to be coming on this live, it's big. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit on down because it's going down. And it's on like Donkey Kong. That's an old school game, so I know y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But the damn show is about to start in 5, 4, 3, because I used to work for the Hawks, 2, and 1. Let's go. All right, y'all, welcome back to Truth Talks. I am Ryan Cameron, and you know, a lot of people don't know what this whole show is about. That's why I have to bring in somebody who has all the knowledge. I got to bring in one of my devastating co-hosts, Bree Renee, to talk about what it's all about. Bree, tell them what's going on.
Of course, this is the show that takes place in the hour after happy hour where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and we talk about the things that you want to talk about. And if you aren't talking about them, you were thinking about it. Okay, so let's just jump right into it with my lovely co-host, Dr. Bryant and Willie Moore Jr. And of course, you know, the legend, the great Mr. Ryan Cameron. But I got to ask y'all, what in the AI is going on? Yeah. Last week, I don't know if y'all saw this, but Tesla CEO Elon Musk unveiled his new creation, the Cybercab. Yeah. Okay, right. It is a robo-taxi, and he's calling it a fun and exciting future. Now, Musk promises that the self-driving cars, without steering wheels at that, and robots are walking among the population and will be here within a few years. This is kind of scary to me.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the whole fun about robots because I'm just thinking about Will Smith and all of that stuff.
Right.
Like, it's really happening. And then, of course, the movie that we just saw not too long ago where all the Teslas were crashing into each other.
Leave the world behind.
Yeah, leave the world behind. I'm scared of any. I already don't trust people behind cars. So why would I be happy about a self-driving car? That sounds very risky, and people already drive crazy anywhere. You always know. If I ever see somebody with a drive-out tag on, they don't know how to drive. Okay.
Now, self-driving vehicles are actually more than twice as likely to be involved in auto accidents, and more than 2/3 of those cars involved in crashes are Teslas. Wow. There's also been an actual pedestrian death. Now, like you said, the movie Leave the World Behind, the cars just all got up and left and crashed into each other. So this is scary, Ryan.
Yeah, no, that is very, very scary. I mean, I had a friend who said they was in San Francisco and they ordered a Uber ride and it came up with a no driver. And I was like, did you get in? And they was like, yeah, I did. Were you scared? Yes, I was.
Yeah, I'm not getting in that.
Right, but listen, you know who's a big fan?
No.
And thinking about purchasing a robot?
Ooh. You?
Hell no, Ryan. Atlanta's very own 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz was at a recent Tesla event and posted a video on Instagram of himself communicating with the robot Optimus. Take a look.
What's up?
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Are robots going to take all the black jobs, y'all? Really? Like, should we really be worried?
All the what jobs?
All the black jobs. And like Bree said, like, should we be worried? Like, honestly?
Well, I don't know about the black jobs, but I'm excited. I do think I might purchase me a robot for the house.
Yes.
I like that.
I was just gonna say that.
And roll up for me. You know what I mean? I don't know about y'all.
And roll up for you.
Yeah, roll up some.
Okay, all right.
Like robot, roll some.
Roll some.
Rap some.
And Bree, we single, so do we need a robotic man who just do what we say, when we say it, how we say it?
Baby, that could protect it. Now, if he start protecting and providing.
all that.
Well, to the contrary, a good woman that's a robot that only costs $20,000, $30,000.
Oh, flat out. You ain't got
Come on, and I ain't gotta keep paying that Birkin
That's the Birkin fee right there.
The Birkin is 30.
Expensive. Would you pay that for
Just for the robot, that's one time fee.
Hold on, Willie.
You guys want
Hold on, Willie. Let
every
me find out
single
you
month.
paying $30,000 for a woman.
No, not a woman, but a robot.
Oh, shit.
Because she ain't gonna talk back.
Yeah.
Okay. And if she do do, you can unplug her, take the battery out.
Yeah. And that's the last thing you want. Please, when he comes out with this robot, do not have somebody in the barbershop trying to sell you the robot for the low. Because that's all we need is buy a robot. Be like, yeah, here she go.
They gonna have a bootleg robot.
Right.
Yeah.
So we don't want no bootleg robot.
And then when you unplug her, she just keep going in on you, Willie. Huh? And I said, Willie's like, I thought I unplugged you.
Right.
It'll definitely be unplugged. I
And
don't
then
like
you got
none
Megan.
spice.
That's Megan now.
And
Just
then
like that movie.
some of y'all gonna be robots. All batteries always gonna be dead. It's like, how you in the house and the battery dead? You supposed to be charged.
I think that'd be our problem with our man. We like, zzz, you dead? Zzz.
Right.
We trying to put, you not charged?
At least
Pay
you ain't
the
got to do a
bill.
background check, though.
Cater to us some more.
It's no background check. Trying to get some good babysitters and cooks and all that
I
other
don't know,
stuff.
because some of these robots be cutting up. Have you seen them on TV where they just get loose and start doing their own thing and
Right.
cutting up? People are like, my
Yeah.
robot's out of control.
Yeah. And I think that it gets even scarier because I was actually listening to an AI podcast where the podcast hosts were AI and they didn't know that they were AI.
Wow.
And they actually had like a conscious moment. They were like, well, this is our last episode because we found out we're AI and we think this kind of is sad. And it was like they almost had consciousness. So I don't know if the robots will completely be what we want them to be. They can grow into be monsters of their own.
That's just
No,
like
that's
the
true.
movie.
That's scary.
Just
Yeah,
like
that's
the
like
movie.
the movie. So I don't know. We got to be careful out there.
So moving on to Bath and Body Works. Once again, and we talked about it off air, you know, they done lost their damn mind. And once again, you see that there's no black people sitting at the table when they come up with these ideas.
Absolutely.
The retail store released a candle called Snowed In. And the paper snowflake image on the candle is being compared to the KKK and the hood.
Yeah, I'm tired of these companies. They are receiving backlash for being tone deaf, their merchandise. Should they be doing research first? I mean, like ask a black person, or like you said, bring some black people into the
To the
boardrooms
table.
when y'all making these decisions.
Everybody was excited in 2020 to add this new black thing, especially after like George Floyd. And now the diversity thing is going. They're getting rid of these diversity departments. Gucci just did it. Prada just did it. Shout out to Louis Vuitton. They finally got Pharrell in there. So now we got somebody in there who could actually kind of speak to it. I just think it's just an oversight. You got to put some people in there who actually know what the hell they doing.
But,
with-
yeah.
with
Do you
people.
think it has to do with black people supporting, though, like the black, designs, the black anything? I mean, even though, let me say this, we're only about 13% of the entire U.S. population. So even if all 13% of us supported a black business, that's still not enough, right? So we still
Right.
need allies and other constituents to support us. But, I mean, how much of the black community supporting the black businesses do you think really matters? Or do you think it doesn't? Because we're the biggest consumers.
I think
we
it's
buying
huge.
up everything.
Yeah.
I think it's huge. And shout out to Slutty Vegan's CEO, Pinky Cole,
that's my
because
sister.
she continues to be a pivotal person in rallying up group economics. So
Right.
she'll post the business and say, hey, everybody, let's go flood and shop with this business
I
and keep
love
this
that.
business in line. So I think
love
and she has
that.
been successful with keeping some black businesses alive because of that. So I think it's really important that we do that.
Well, I don't know if the Bed Bath & Beyond is going to go out of business because every black person I know be waiting on that $10 candle. So.
Okay, that candle
Alright,
set
so
would
I'm
be
just
good.
saying.
Yeah,
Right.
And I buy all their plug-in scents all through my house.
The candle's been pulled from retail stores and the website. Now, the company told CNN in the statement its design was unintentional. The crazy thing is now the candle is on eBay and is being sold for $350. So
That's
the
insane.
question is, should they take the candle off of eBay too?
I think so.
I don't think so.
No.
What?
I don't think so.
You
I don't
both,
think
y'all
so.
both say no. Why?
I don't
No.
think so. I think if people want to buy, people have the right to buy whatever they want to buy. Just like we can buy a shirt that says, black, proud black, or black empowered, or whatever, black girls rock. I think if white people want to buy something that has a candle that's representing what they like, I just feel like do it.
It's an audience
Do
for
it.
everything. I want the
Yeah.
old miss. I know 3 people who want that candle
Come on.
right now. You hear me? They like, you know what? It goes right here
Right
on my table.
Next to my hood.
Right next to my
Right.
real hood. Have you seen what they've done?
What they did for us, Sally?
Y'all saying that when Donald Trump get on the next rally and he get up on the stage, come out, when he got that candle,
With the candle.
see how
It's
y'all
good
be feeling
people
about
on both
that.
sides.
But you know what, Ryan? I'll keep it real. I do think that it might have been an oversight, only because it did look like that little snowflake we made when we in elementary school. You know, when you got to cut it out. It was like just a
That
little
is,
paper
with
mache.
the little-
Yeah, you just cut around it. I think it might have been a mistake.
All right, well, up next, Donald Trump serves up some political shade at McDonald's, and I have a few more friends you need to meet. So you don't want to go nowhere, man. You got more on True Talks.
What up, Truth Fam? It's your man, Torre. And I know you've been wondering where you've been. I ain't gone nowhere. I leveled up. Slide over to our brand new YouTube channel at Truth Talks-Live. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell like it owes you something. Because we coming live every weeknight at 8 p.m. and it's about to get really real. Yeah, the truth still hurts, but that's exactly why you need it. Season 2 is bigger, bolder, and blacker than ever. Unfiltered convos, expert takes, and uplifting moments. We're calling it out, breaking it down, and lifting up the culture in real time. We're not holding back, and we're not sugarcoating nothing, and we're not gonna let anybody rewrite our narratives. So tune in, pull up, and get ready to speak truth. Live with Truth Talk Season 2. For the people, for the culture, every damn night at 8 p.m.
And we are back. Welcome back for more True Talks. All right? Next segment. Let's go.
Indeed. Let's move on to politics. Now, this is a segment where we talk politics from the black perspective. Come on, say it with me. Black perspective. Now,
Yes.
we've all heard the personal attacks on Kamala Harris, right, from Donald Trump. She blatantly turned black, right? She's mentally impaired. But what if I told you his beef with Harris has to do with McDonald's? Harris mentioned in her campaign ads and interviews that she worked at McDonald's to pay her way through college. Then the Trumpster campaign accused her of lying and using the McDonald's connection to portray her humble background. Trump working at McDonald's at a drive-thru. Trump is a longtime fan of the fast food chain. To troll Harris, he worked there a shift. He was on fries at McDonald's in a battleground state in Pennsylvania. But what does McDonald's have to do with connecting with regular Americans, specifically black folks? Why do we care if Kamala prefers kale or burgers? Because I prefer kale.
Listen, I'm like Ocho Cinco. I don't eat red meat, but for some reason, I love me some McDonald's. No, I'll eat
Fries are
it.
good. The fries are
I
good.
can't hit that burger. That thing
Well,
stayed alive.
you could bring me a Big Mac or a burger on set any day. I'm telling
You ain't never had that Nicki Minaj with them 2 cheeseburgers with that light mac sauce?
yes. Remember
That-
McDonald's
it's
had
black.
Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, that's like
She
on
had
the
her own
low. That was
burger.
like the off the menu
Yes.
thing. They call that the Nicki Minaj. You
Oh,
know?
I didn't
No
know
idea.
that.
Yeah.
Didn't know
They
that.
had, she had her
So
own burger.
you McDonald's?
So I actually do like McDonald's fries now, but I have graduated a little bit from the McDonald's burger because it just don't hit the same like when I was
right.
younger, you know? But the question really is why did Trump feel like that he could walk into McDonald's and get on fries? And I hope he had a hairnet on for that toupee
I
because if
didn't
it
see
fell
no
in the
hairnet.
fries, you know that's nasty and unsanitary. But why did he feel like that would connect with us?
Well, I mean, you got to go from the history of McDonald's. Everybody remember Calvin when he got his first job. He was at the McDonald's. He was all proud and everything. So maybe he thought, Calvin had grown up to become a Republican.
McDowell's.
I think he's just petty. You
Yeah.
know, when you hear that, it's like, okay, well, it's a humble beginning for her. Well, and his story is he did not come from humble beginning. So it's just another dig. It's just his little petty. He petty Pablo.
He is petty.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's petty. Y'all know, y'all already heard my opinion on Kamala, but I do think he's petty.
Yeah.
I think he's white privileged. I think he does whatever he wants. I think that a president who comes and has all these felonies and then says the Supreme Court judge that I appointed when I was president is now finna tell y'all that everything I did when I was president doesn't matter because I'm the president.
Right.
He feels he can do whatever he wants. So at that point, I just, I don't condone it. Obviously, I think that it's straight white privilege at its finest.
And I think it's actually him parading around trying to, in lack of better words, like puppet
Come on.
that he can relate to lower class people because let's be honest, he was a silver spoon kid his whole life and handed millions of dollars, and then filed bankruptcy. So I think it's a reach in an attempt to be like, I'm humble, I'm just like you, the average American. But we know that's not true. You ain't worked a hard day's work a day in your life.
To your point, I think nothing he has tried has stuck.
Yeah.
Right? Because he came up with Sleepy Joe, and everybody was saying that. Then it was, let's go Brandon. Anything that he was trying to do against Joe Biden was kind of sticking. So now he's talking about mental fitness. He's talking about all this other, and none of this stuff is working. So it's like he's just trying to do whatever he can to try to see what's going to stick. And the McDonald's is a very desperate attempt, I think.
And to add to that, she's woman and she's black. We already know Donald don't respect women. We know that when he said
knew
grab
that.
him by the vajay.
You know what?
He didn't respect his wife. And you were saying, Ryan, and we were talking about one of our clips, you said he was talking about if his daughter wasn't his daughter, he would date her.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
And
was so beautiful. He might date her.
And then a man who's white and doesn't respect women, I'm sure he damn sure don't respect a black woman. And so if he can make more mockery of her without losing whatever black vote he does have, I'm sure he'd run that play all the way.
Yeah.
So he's doing it very subtly. It's extremely disrespectful. And I just think that, that's where I say I feel like running black matters, because I feel like this is opportunity for Kamala to run black in this moment and kind of pull his call. This is where I do condone her being black and using whatever culture or influence she can to say, this is what I'm talking about, America.
Yeah.
This the president you wanna go with.
See what I be saying?
Vote
That's
at,
what she
vote
needs
at.
to
Yeah,
do.
see what I be
See
saying?
what I be
Vote
talking
at.
about?
She needs
So
to challenge
you
him
wanna
on
do
that.
this?
I mean, this came out today. They were saying since 2022, there's been 100 incidents where he's made threats against politicians, regular individuals, anybody that's gone against him. And he said this, that if a reporter does not reveal their source, they should go to jail. Now, this is what he's saying. So it's no freedom of speech. It's no protecting your sources. This is 100 incidents of him saying, yo, when I get in here, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when somebody tell you who they are, you gotta believe.
Gotta
Yeah.
believe him.
You gotta
it.
believe him. I think they think that that's the same guy that was on reality TV. But you have to really understand that this guy is super duper serious. It's been said that the people that were in his cabinet, people who were in the White House, that those offices were literally bare by the time he left the White House.
Right.
But nobody talks about it. Here's the thing, nobody in his former cabinet is in the background supporting him. Everybody's like, this guy is a lunatic.
He's nuts.
He is nuts. But at the end of the day, that kind of shows you where America is.
And
they
he's
would rather
running.
have a person there who has some superficial power than to ever give an opportunity to another person.
70 million people voted for him, though.
Yeah.
And he's running his campaign like a reality show.
Like a reality
And
show.
the crazy thing is, as much as people love reality shows, it seems like they're loving his reality show as well.
Yeah.
And remember, we got a lot of black people. Mark Lamont told us, right? We have a lot of black people, and a lot of them, he said, are black men voting for Trump, but a lot of black women are not wanting to vote for Kamala. So as much as we talk about the support, we have a lot of us who are on the other side as well.
Yeah, have you seen the clips from his rallies? I mean, it's like watching CrossFit at night. It's like they're like all the white men like, wow, we must save the country. We must get out there and fight for our rights. And that is one of the things we've been talking about. Is like, how is Kamala going to galvanize the people the way, as we saw, and it's going to go viral now. Barack Obama in Detroit, he was talking about using Eminem lyrics, and he did a quote from, Lose Yourself, and the crowd went crazy. And he was just, kind of playing with it. He wasn't serious or whatever, but it just shows that there's a disconnect that she has got to try to figure out. I don't know if she's going to do it in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So maybe she's going to stand down and may the chips fall where they may. But, Barack, again, he didn't come out and was taking a second seat.
Right.
He came out rapping.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is it going to take in the next 2 weeks, y'all?
What is it going to
I
take?
think that she doesn't need to focus on this middle racist America, like the rednecks that are obviously they are going.
You're not going to change their mind.
Yeah, you're not going to change
You're
their
not gonna
mind.
change
Right.
But if you focus on everybody else, I think if we join together, then we can still bring Kamala in office. I think it's going to take the blacks to unite. It's going to take brown and immigrants and women to get Kamala in office.
Yeah, I think she needs to focus on who she knows is already rooting for her.
Yeah.
We at the last leg. Whoever in the car rolling with me,
The plan is already
hey,
set.
we ride.
That's
we
what I'm
ride.
saying.
We
The
got to
plan is
focus on who it
already
is,
set.
and whoever
Yeah.
not riding with me, it is what it is, and you just got to take it to the polls.
Predictions.
I mean, that's just what
Predictions from Willie to Bree to Doc. What's your prediction on the election?
She's not going to win. I don't think she's going to
it
win.
is. Damn, Willie.
I think there are so many silent Trump supporters. I just left the great state of Montana, and I was there. I was probably one of 8 black people who were in Montana, and I was listening to the perspective of a lot of those men, and black and white, and I really heard some things that were a little disheartening. It's a bigger issue internationally
Come on.
than we know about. The goal is to make sure that our American dollar has no power,
Come on.
and war costs a whole lot of money. I'm talking about a load of money. And if you sink our American dollar,
Talk
then we
your
don't
shit,
have
Willie.
enough money to go to war.
Come
And so
on.
that's the bigger plan. So internationally is what people are thinking about. We don't want to have war on this, on our soil. So we just got to be careful. So honestly, I just, just looking at it, I think we're going to have a really good run. I think it's going to be close, but at the end of the day, I just don't believe we're going to be able to pull it off.
I don't either. I think that Trump is going to steal this one. Even if she won fair and square, he would steal it like he stole it before. And I think that a lot of, unfortunately, men, black and white, aren't ready to elect a woman as president. I think that he's also shown and proven to us that a white man can do whatever he wants to do and be whoever he wants to be in this country, regardless of who it affects, who it offends, and who it is a detriment to.
Yes.
So I think that he is, like you said, unfortunately, I think that he gonna win.
Yeah, to y'all point.
Or steal it.
Yeah, to your point, Kodak Black and Ray J was at the White House together. So Ray was there with Kodak. And there is a lot of others that, unfortunately, are my clients that I can't name, but Ray said I could say it in Kodak. So they were there at the White House with Trump. And we were having a conversation, Ray and I, and he just named out so many people. He was like, Doc, I mean, Doc, you should have seen how many people that are us, that are men that were there. And I'm like, wow. But interesting with that, Ryan, you ain't gonna believe I'm gonna say this, but I think Kamala's gonna take it. I think she's gonna win.
You think so?
I think she's gonna win. And I think that not only is she gonna win, I think that once she gets in office, she ain't gonna just all of a sudden be a black leader, but I do believe that she is gonna have more impact than a lot of the ones who didn't vote for her or who did vote for her only because they didn't want to vote for Trump. There was no other person to vote for. I think we'll be a little more impressed than they are right now in her campaigning.
Well,
That's just what I predict.
I'm praying for
I
you,
think she
Sister
will.
Harris.
Listen, I hope Prophet is Dr.
on.
Bryant.
I hope that comes to pass.
Y'all didn't ask me what I think.
So, Ryan,
What you think, Ryan?
last but
What
not
you think,
least,
Ryan?
your thoughts.
I believe that the Russian interference and the Chinese interference and the way that AI can now make it seem like Willie said something he didn't say and that you said something you didn't say is going to push Kamala over the top. But what I think is just like in Leave the World Behind, the first thing to do is try to have discourse and lead to some type of civil war.
Yeah.
And I think that is one thing that we are not really looking at, that if we have this outside interference where you know that you can come in and you can manipulate stuff, the next war is not going to be one that's going to be bombs and missiles. It's going to be what happens, like Chuck D said, what you going to do when the grid goes down.
Yeah.
We already see now, if you do a four-way stop, people don't even know how to react. Imagine if all the lights went out right here in this building right now. Would nobody know what to do, or if all the stoplights went out, or if the water supply stopped? All these things are going to be based on the fact that if somebody can come in and cause enough American disruption, who you going to blame? Donald Trump lost. You going to blame Kamala.
Oh, that's good,
So-
Ryan. Oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. Pray for that.
Prophet Ryan, I hope you ain't.
I hope you're not true.
I hope
Read that.
not too, but that's
We
not.
gonna-
Yeah.
We're going to pray against that, Lord.
I think
Dang.
she's going to win, though. She's going to take it. I
Yeah.
just see her take
2
it.
and 2.
We-
We'll
and
see in
maybe
2
it's-
weeks.
maybe
Look,
it's
we're
both.
2 and
She's gonna
2.
take
We'll
it.
see in 2 weeks.
I think she's going to take it for sure.
Up next, a man who stays trending from one viral moment to another. Ray J will join us when we come back on True Talk.
Wow.
What's up, True Fam? It's your girl, Cheyenne. And yes, season 2 of True Talks is here, and we are turning up even higher.
Yo, it's your man Torre, the newest co-host on the set, and I'm bringing heart, heat, and hard truth every night.
And we are keeping it all the way fire. Ain't no filters, ain't no fluff, just straight facts. Y'all know how we do.
So stop scrolling and pull up to our YouTube at Truth Talks-Live. Like, subscribe, and smash that bell.
And after you do that, join us because we go live weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern on all the coasts, wherever you are. From culture to controversy, we say what everyone else is scared to say.
We talk truth. Season 2 of Truth Talks. Let's go. Because this time, we ain't asking. We're taking the mic.
Hey y'all, our next guest is known as the King of Controversy, from unforgettable moments in reality TV history to groundbreaking technology ventures and of course chart-topping R&B hits. You can't deny it, his impact. So get ready for the one and only Mr. Unpredictable, Ray J.
Hey. Hi, Ray.
How y'all doing?
What's going on,
I'm feeling
man?
good.
Good.
Y'all know I'm on the news now. I'm on the news, so
We see the background.
yeah, I'm working every day, so I'm hustling, and making sure I get the right message out, or at least the message that I'm trying to get out that I feel is right. So I'm having a good time. The new show's called The Reality Check News. We're
Yeah.
also on News Nation as well. So,
Come on,
yeah.
Ray.
Well, it's great to have you
Yep.
here, man.
Yeah.
So right out of
Now
the
we're
gate.
on. Now we're on Fox Soul.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're on Fox Soul right
Fox
now.
Soul, Ray.
You live.
You worldwide.
So, hey, Ray, you
Wow.
know,
Wow.
I've interviewed you a million times, man. You always keep it 100. So right out of the gate, you've been very vocal and viral about Diddy and others in the industry.
It is. It's just something that's been going on in the industry for a very long time. And even though a lot of these stories that's coming out about Diddy, I feel are starting to sound preposterous. They're starting to sound unethical. They're starting to sound unsanitary. They're starting to sound it's a little bit over the top for, you know, for smart people, right? But again, whatever victim has been through anything that's really been through that, you know, my heart goes out. And I feel like with the baby oil and, you know, people taking and then people taking that lightly, for me, you know, is just it's not okay. And never once when I said ashes are being taken, or that, you know, I don't want to turn cheek to cheek, I didn't chuckle.
What's your relationship with Diddy?
Well, Diddy's my friend. And I said before, I said Diddy was my friend. And I ain't like that. I ain't like when I said that. Because even though I don't agree with most of the stuff that's being said right now, and it's really not okay. A lot of times when I was around Puff, I was inspired. And I learned a lot of positive things being around him. So, you know, now that you're able to see certain footage, or you're able to hear all of this other like loud noise, right? It's they're not weighing out, right? What happened with the footage, that's all I needed to see to be extremely mad and to be extremely hurt, and to figure out if that's it, like, I'm separating myself from this whole play. I don't have any kind of kind words, or I don't want to know why, right? I went through that, but as I see everything that's going on now, and it's becoming like this circus, I'm starting to like rethink, you know, just how I feel overall about what's happening.
You know, having navigated being a child celebrity yourself, are there any systemic traps on the path of fame that the industry has allowed, ignored, or even set up, right? Like sending a teenage boy to live with a grown man in an adult lifestyle. Like, Ray, what's that about? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like when you're a kid and when you have parents and your kid has been working hard towards something, right? And then you see a celebrity that at the time has a clean image and is a star maker, right? Some of these executives have the power to push a button, and if you work hard enough, you're gonna be big, right? If you're one of the chosen ones. And so having that opportunity in front of you, and then kind of second guessing it by saying, no, let me keep you here and keep you away from your goals and keep you away from your dreams, when it's right there, right? And most people won't even get to this level this fast. So you just kind of like, you're straddling the line with success, money, power, opportunity, and then also love and protection of the kids. So it's all a mind F, you know? And you told me I couldn't say the F word, so I did well.
Good job.
But
Good job, Ray. Great job.
But it's challenging for a lot of people, because if you did say no, and if you did cut that opportunity off, and then you never got that opportunity again,
Right.
then life is miserable as well, right? And so you're going through these things. So I say that to say, you know, sometimes people just are unlucky in certain situations. You know, it's like, you know, walking across the street and getting hit by a car. It's like, you might have been a great person. You was just unlucky at the time, and, you know, and God might have needed you in another place to do other things. And now I think that's how we got to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Some people would just get unlucky in this game, and this game is real dirty, and it's problematic, and it's a crew of successful people who corner the market and avoid other people to come in because they already have it taken care of in this like cult success team. And it's a wheel, and it just spins around and around, so they can just keep doing the same thing over and over, not just successfully, but negatively too.
Ray J, I mean, you know, your mom coined the phrase, I mean, momager with you and Brandy. You know, and she was the first one to ever do it on a scale. We've seen Raven Simone come out.
Somebody else copywrote it, but you know.
We know where it came from. I was there, but I'm gonna say it. But we've seen Raven Simone come out and say she never wanted to act. We've seen other people come out and talk about the business and what happens to them. When it comes to your relationship and you're going into the business, what was it that made her not just be like, you know, I'm just gonna let Ray J and Brandon go out and just do something? Because like you said, people want the star to be so bright. We saw it happen with R. Kelly, with people letting people go and, you know, go backstage and do all other kind of things. What was it about your upbringing that didn't make that happen?
Well, my mom she was a no-nonsense person. You know, she started off managing, you know, 21 H&R Block offices. And that was in taxes, right? And so she stopped doing that to just become a full manager for us. And so she knew the business already. And my mom she just don't care when it comes to her kids. And so she always had that energy. Did people like it? No. You know, did she have a lot of challenges? Absolutely. Especially with Brandy and the industry, right? With me, I was just real bad as far as like wanting to just have a good time. And I didn't care about waiting for my success whenever it happened, as long as I could stay turned up and stay me, right? And never be typecast into something where I couldn't be lit or I couldn't make a mistake. Like, that was important for me. And so it took me a lot longer. But my mom, just, you know, she really had our back. Even with Suge Knight, and I was signed to Death Row Records. And Suge is family. We talk every week. But there was a time where we were going into the next phase of Death Row, and he was about to make these big announcements. And he went on 106 in Park, and he started talking about the roster. And when they mentioned me, my mom had called him 2 days before that, and she was tripping and telling him, like, I don't want Ray around all of that. It's getting too dangerous. A lot of people are dying, and I don't want him around that anymore. And Suge and my mom is like this too, and so he accepted that. And that's hard for Suge to accept, for anybody to be told no. But he stood down, and I was able to, you know, go back independent and make One Wish and Sexy Can I, and then it all started to unfold again. But there was times where my mom had to put it all on the line because, you know, she was just trying to protect me.
Yeah.
I love that. Shout out to your mom.
Yeah, shout out to her. I actually had the opportunity to sit down with your mom, and she was just a very, very smart, intelligent lady. Ray, I got to ask you this. I want to switch gears. And just being very transparent, I believe what comes from the heart speaks to the heart. I am 4 days away from 1 year of being divorced, even though it was a 4-year process. And co-parenting is unique. I got 3 children, well, 3 with her and 4 in total. It took me almost 4 years now to actually grieve the marriage. That's a lot to get through. And divorce is really tough when it's private, but I know it's gotta be hella hard when it's public. Like, how does that work with you, and how do you mentally work through that, knowing that there's so many people that have opinions about your life?
Well, I think divorce is tough. I mean, whether, you know, you're publicly noticed about it, it's just tough, man. And it's really, you really never get over it, you know. And I think you just try to find ways to make the proper adjustments, because the best thing that you could have is like a great relationship with your baby mama or baby daddy, right? And having that great relationship is tough, because now it's like good and shit, right? You like, you get me? Like, it's good. And so we're having a great time being honest, whether we're together or not. Like, we're showing this love, right? And that's the best place to be. But then that starts to feel like love. And so you go through all of these different roller coaster rides. But I just feel like when it gets real bad, you just got to make it real good.
That's good. I love it. When it get real bad, you got to make it real good. That's good, bro.
Yeah.
Now, Ray J, tell us about this Ray Y jelly.
That look.
Ray, you don't want to talk
That's
about
not
it?
that's not what I meant by Ray White jelly. And again, we can't make a joke about something that's serious. Like even Ray White jelly is not okay.
I mean,
It's just it's distasteful. Because Ray White jelly, that what I meant was like people keep making jokes about, the baby oil. I don't like baby oil, but allegedly it was stuff in the baby oil.
Right.
So now it's allegedly supposed to be like this bad thing, which could still be preposterous. I've been saying that word today, but it's not how I want people to perceive it. I'm trying to work on explaining it better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to work on explaining it better. But I don't like Ray White jelly.
Ray, why
And
don't
I
you
can't
like Ray
laugh.
White? Ray,
I
why
can't.
don't you like Ray White jelly? What's wrong with the Ray White jelly?
I think he said he was done. Did he walk off?
no, Ray.
Ray?
Did we lose him?
He said why you want to ask him about that?
Ray?
I don't like baby oil. I don't like KY. I don't use KY. I don't use the baby oil cream. I don't use none of that. I want to be taken serious, and the doc knows that.
I know, Ray. I got you.
We
Do
take
a serious interview next time.
we take
We
you
got
serious,
you, Ray. We got you, Ray.
and we respect your growth.
Well, I mean, we just saw Ray J walk off the interview with the question about the Ray White jelly after
Yeah.
Bree asked him about it, and then Doc kind of challenged him on it. I mean, he actually walked off.
Yeah.
So, I know that you
listen,
can't
let me say-
talk about it because y'all are,
that's
there's
Ray's
confidentiality,
my
but
client.
it's obviously triggering for
I'm his
him.
doctor. Yeah, so we work through a
Ray
lot of that
White
stuff.
jelly is not triggering for me.
Come on,
I just
Ray.
don't want to keep talking about games.
So do you think because of the way that you made some of the comments that people took it as you were trying to do a joke because they weren't taking it seriously?
No, but it wasn't. I said it.
I know, but what I'm saying is, do you think-
laugh? I said I don't like that.
Right.
That's not funny.
Ray J, come back, man. Come back. Come back on.
I'm back.
All right, there you go.
Welcome back, Ray.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh, and you got the
Oh,
Come on.
Wait.
Come
What's
on,
going on?
Stevie Ray.
Stevie Ray J.
Stevie Ray Wonder.
Stevie Ray
What's
Wonder,
up?
ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
Ray J, I gotta ask you this: from One Wish to Raycon to producer hat, director hat, what's next for Ray after this?
Big things is on the way. Tronics Network. Of course, I'm on the news. I'm taking over news media.
Congratulations.
It's a new media outlet.
Come on.
The Reality Check News. I love what y'all doing at Truth Talks. This is a whole thing that we're doing now inside of the media world. It's a $1 trillion business.
Yeah,
With a
Love
T.
that.
absolutely.
We got to give it up for Ray J because he came on here, he kept it 100. And Ray J, man, we appreciate you, man, every single time. You know that, right?
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Ray, Doc loves you. I love you so much, Ray.
Love you.
When we come back, we got more True Talks right here. Don't go nowhere. You saw what Ray J said, so come on back.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Sarah Fontenot, host of the It's Giving podcast. And in case you haven't heard, I'm going to need you to slide on over to YouTube weeknights at 8 p.m. Why? Because your favorite host, me, I am one of the newest faces on Truth Talk Season 2. And guess what? We are live every night, Monday through Friday, exclusively on our YouTube channel at Truth Talks-Live. I need all of my people, all of my day ones, all of my family, all of my fans, and even all of my haters to smash that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get a notification so you know when the content is coming out. Because this is not your regular podcast. We are talking the real Black truth, okay? The real Black experience, no matter where you were raised or what your life was like. This is the kind of truth that nobody else is really bold enough to tell. And they definitely don't want to say these things out loud, okay? We're talking politics, we're talking culture, the streets, and the system. And by the way, we're keeping it all the way 1,000. Okay? So you need to check us out. Oh, and by the way, also, we're blessing y'all on Thankful Thursdays. We're giving away $100 to a lucky superfan every week. And all you got to do is watch the show live. Okay, easy. Drop hashtag truth tellers in the comments, and don't forget to drop hashtag givers, okay? Because I want to know if my people, my friends, my family, or my haters, I want to hear what y'all got to say about what I got to say. We talking to y'all at the end of the day. Then head on over to truthtalkslive.com and join our exclusive Truth Lounge to get VIP perks, behind the scenes access, and your personal invite to our celebrity-filled premiere party in the A. Let's get it. If you're rocking with me, make sure to go and subscribe to Truth Talks Live. Check us out on YouTube now.
Welcome back. Most people probably think Donald Trump is going to get 0% of the black vote in this presidential election. But that is the farthest thing from the truth. Also, you think all black women love Kamala Harris? They don't. They don't.
We clearly know not.
Well, let me introduce you to Michaela Montgomery.
A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected.
So what's the real issue here? Do they really love Trump, or do they secretly hate Kamala?
Listen, I don't like Trump's white privilege and his way of doing things. I think he is an a-hole. I think that he is manipulative, although he is very, I'm being real and transparent. I think that is a form of manipulation, in my opinion. I don't dislike Kamala. I just want her to inform us more. That's all I'm saying, is to inform us more so that we can connect and be more relatable, so we can feel more like we have a leader who is here with us and not here with us, if that makes sense. That's all I'm saying. And so, I mean, but I know, again, I know a lot of black men and women who are just not supporting her. They're just not feeling her. They're not supporting her. And a lot of those people are power hitters.
So if Trump actually receives 20% or more of the black vote in the presidential election, this is going to represent a whole major breakthrough for the GOP. And no Republican presidential candidate since Richard Nixon in 1960 has received anything approaching that level of support amongst black voters. President Obama spoke in Pittsburgh and claimed that the hesitation in voting for VP Harris was more pronounced with the brothers. What y'all think about that?
You know what's so crazy is that I do see a lot of my friends who are entrepreneurs going and influencers and stuff like that. We have these conversations, and a lot of them like, yeah, I think I'm gonna vote for Trump too because he gonna give us some tax breaks and stuff like that. And I'm like, you guys, just because we're entrepreneurs, those tax breaks and things aren't necessarily gonna benefit us. I don't know. They're a certain
socioeconomic class.
Exactly. And y'all, even if we touching a couple 100,000, 500 here and there, maybe even an M, you really not in that bracket that he's thinking about. And I think that y'all really got it screwed up in y'all head to think that he's considering us when he's making decisions. It's not us that he's looking out for. It's power players, the real people that's making the moves, like the Trumps and what's the other family name that's been in the
Rockefellers.
The Rockefellers.
Yeah.
It's people like that is going to benefit. It's not going to benefit you with your black-owned business over here in East Atlanta. Okay.
So would you all say you do better in your businesses? Everybody here has their own individual businesses. Do you say do you do better under the Republican Party or the Democratic Party?
You know what?
But you do better.
I do better under the. I did better under Trump's administration as in the Republican Party, and it's just the way it's set up.
I totally agree.
Willie, we agree.
And I don't like.
We agree on a lot of stuff, Willie.
We starting to agree a little too much. I like fighting on the other side. When you got up like this, like you got to tell me. I like when you try to crip on me.
I do
cool.
too. You know, I'm gonna spice it back.
But can I ask y'all
But yeah, I do better with that. But my socioeconomic income is a lot different from when I was a little girl in the hood.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm big mama in the hills now. I'm just keeping it real. And so, the way I write off my taxes, the way that I spend, the way that I have even structured my corporations and my businesses are very different. And it does better with or under the Republican leadership thus far.
Yeah.
Thus
So
far.
can I just say this, and I'm just gonna make it real easy and common. So with the red, what happens is you don't have as many laws to force you spend your money in certain areas.
Right.
With the Democratic Party, when you make a few dollars, they are doing their best to make sure that they allocate the money to the places that really need to go. But what happens with the rich is you give more when you have more freedom. And so they're going to always find a way to squeeze at the bottom. So the truth is, it's like make America great again. I think like sometimes, of course I'm like, when was America great?
Right.
And it's more so like, hey, when the money was where it was supposed to be so we could trickle it down the right way.
Well, I mean, my point is, as a black business owner, is that the same banks that were bailed out when they were, we gave them all the money. These are the same banks that won't loan anybody any money now, especially not a black business.
Come on now.
And what we've learned now, even with the housing, what Kamal's talking about and doing housing allowances, basically there is what they put in place. It's called overlays. If you go by the FDA and by Fannie Mae standards, you can get a house with a 520 credit score. That is the lowest that you can have. But what happens is the Chases and the Bank of America, now it's 600, now it's 650. And they make you go through all of these hoops. But this is the same institution that we bailed out when they was going to be belly up. So, I want to go on record and say this. The first black congressman was a Republican. The very first black congressman was a Republican, and Democrats have been feeding and feeding and feeding, and we just keep on coming back and keep on coming back and keep on coming back. Like, well, we know they're gonna take care of us soon if we vote for them one more time.
And Ryan, I love that you made that point about the banks, right? Because what they showed is that there's a lot of housing programs that are created for minorities.
Yes.
So that minorities who have the 5-something credit score and not the income can go in, purchase a house, and foreclose. So it was just a setup for the banks to say, I'm gonna give you something so that we can own it, and it's the perfect program for the banks, but it doesn't work well for us, like a credit card.
Yeah.
And so it becomes this manipulative scam that because we're not informed, we fall into.
But even at that, like you said, those banks that they create all these extra loopholes and things like that, because as a young black person trying to qualify for these loans, you often have to jump through way more hoops than somebody else would have to. You know what I mean? And so when we vote, when we go out and vote, this is my question. Yes, we all have left our neighborhoods and gotten to be entrepreneurs and, of course, elevated our lives as we should. But when we're voting, are you only thinking about you, or are you thinking about your community? Are you thinking about the other people that it'll affect? Because when I'm voting, and maybe that's just me, I'm going in and I'm thinking about, okay, I might want to spend my money a little different way, but I know the neighborhood that I grew up from, they need that money in them schools. They need them after them programs. They need that Medicaid. Even though I might not directly benefit from it, I know my community as a whole does. So that's what that's the mindset I go into the voting poll with. You know what I mean?
And that's why you start your own nonprofit. Like I have a for-profit and a nonprofit.
Right.
So that if I choose to vote with somebody else, then I would just run to the Dr. Bryant Foundation and flood out my community with funding from my nonprofit.
So we do it individually, is what you're saying?
I think it's an individual responsibility. We got to give it back.
Well, what's really changed is, back in the day, it was we, Martin Luther King was we, Muhammad Ali was we. And now, there's William C. Roden has a book called The $40 Million Slave. And he talks about the fact that when blacks started making money and there was integration and every other thing, people became to start thinking about what can this do for me? And I think we're in the most me generation that we've ever been in now. If you take somebody who all of a sudden has no money, and next thing you know, like the little NBA guy who's 22 years old, who's got the baby with Drell, who all of a sudden he got $105 million. He don't want to hear nothing you got to say.
They do a whole segment on that.
He don't want to hear nothing you got to say. But the blacks for Trump are always saying, like, what is this person going to do for me?
I made a load of money with Trump in office, straight up. I made a lot of money with him in office. And Biden, I'm not saying that I declined, but it wasn't no expansion like with Trump. And again, he gave me $1,200 for my student loans that I just said never mind when I donated triple that to his campaign.
How is that $1,200 different from any different from the $1,200 Trump gave us for the pandemic when people was out of work, out of job?
Trump gave me, I didn't get only $1,200 from Trump. I got a whole lot of money from Trump. It wasn't $1,200 because I'm a business owner and all kinds of stuff, nonprofit. And so, listen, Trump threw that live and it was with everything he threw. And I know this is what I want to say. A lot of black people say, well, he didn't do it for blacks. He did it for whites. I don't give a damn who he did it for. If I came in here and brought food only for Bree, but it was enough for everybody and everybody ate, you really gonna tell me, well, Doc, you didn't bring it for us, so you got a problem? I brought enough for her, and you're here. Yeah. Eat, baby, eat. What's the problem? So if Trump is bringing a platter, and he didn't say blacks can't have it, even if he said it's for the white people, but since you're here, Doc, listen, bro, thank you.
Well, only thing about that is that the platter might be laced with fentanyl. And it may be killing us slowly because all money ain't good money. And I understand exactly what you're saying, but there's got to be character issues. There's got to be something where you got to say to yourself, this man is evil, and he's been compared to the most deadliest dictator in the world. Yeah. And people are still letting that go by like it ain't nothing, and it's nothing to be even concerned about. But if you're talking about somebody who is saying that he's going to do all of these things, and he's going to arrest people, and he's going to put people out of the country, and it's going to take him 2 years to evict every illegal immigrant.
It's going to be a dictatorship. He said that we won't even get a chance to vote no more. That's the same.
Yeah, you don't need to vote no more.
Never have to vote again.
That we fought, that our ancestors died for us to have. So the fact that y'all are okay with that, I think that's crazy.
No, we didn't say we
okay. I'm just giving perspective.
Y'all sound like y'all okay.
No.
But Ryan,
but they both.
We here.
That's fine. Y'all be there, but they both ain't. We can vote again for Kamala. She's doing the same thing, and we can not vote again for Trump. And if he can just keep running plays where the communities can use money to build out wealth and businesses, I ain't mad at the brother. That's how I look at it. It's like Trump.
If you don't get a chance to vote no more,
there you go.
As long as I get a chance to live a great quality of life.
As being a Trump supporter, I'm not going on record as that.
This is what we want to do. We want to engage all the people who are watching True Talk to go on YouTube and go on all of our comments and go to Fox Soul and tell us what you think, because right now we got two different opinions. Me and Bree are like for the people.
The people.
Yeah.
I would not want to be on the wrong side of history if she wins, though. Like, I cannot tell my great
we definitely going to bring this clip back. Go to the clip.
Yeah, and I'm not, listen, I'm not for Trump. But I am going to say if he won, listen, the Dr. Bryant Institute finna run up. I do know that.
Up next, a game we call Famous FaceTime. So don't go away, because this battle will continue on True Talk.
Hey everybody, Judge Lauren Lake here. Listen, I need you to head on over to YouTube weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Why? Because your favorite judge, I'm one of the new co-hosts of Truth Talks Season 2. And guess what? We're live every night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, only at Truth Talks-Live. I'll see you there.
And welcome back to True Talks. Woo! We want to have a little fun every week with a segment that we can let you at home join in on, all right? So each one of us will FaceTime one of our famous friends and see how they feel about something that we discussed today. Today it's gonna be Willie Boy Jr. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, let
Willie,
me
who
see.
you calling?
Who you got?
Who you calling, Willie?
Let me see if I can get anybody on the line that you guys may know.
Okay.
Ooh,
Let me see. Let me see.
Go to the screen, we're looking.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see some. See if it work. Come on, man, don't let me down. Come on, work.
That's the thing about having famous friends. You gotta hope that they answer.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Ain't nobody on that call.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Hi, Mr. Brown.
You didn't put your wig on like I told you to. Oh, it's feed. This is it. This all you get. This all you have? Hey, say hello to the entire cast of Truth Talks. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, David Mann.
Yeah.
Brian Cameron's here.
What up, though?
What up, though?
Bro, you've been doing TV for a long time, man. We on here telling the truth. I'm talking about feeling good. What advice you got for us, champ? Tell the truth.
So good.
Hey, I'm so glad. Yeah, tell the truth, so you ain't got to lie later.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, thank you. We appreciate it, bro. We love you to life. Thank you for not making me look bad in front of all these pretty people. Flat out. Thank you, bro.
If you did earlier, you would have had a 2-for-1.
Oh! Yeah, I know. Tell mama, tell him I said hello. Tell her I love her.
Y'all are such a beautiful example of black.
In the hole.
You said what, bro?
I said she'll be your ace in the hole next time.
Already.
Go.
Already. You know I love y'all. Thank you, bro. I love you to life.
All right, love you too.
Peace, champ. Yeah, for sure. Woo, they answered. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
You know I can't get embarrassed in front of all these pretty people like
Y'all
that.
know real famous people.
Well,
Listen.
yeah, that was good.
No,
Yeah.
indeed. Shout out to David Man, Tamla, man. They've been guests of my show
Right.
and really like mentors for a very long time. When I came into the industry, like, you know, I got this hat on, this neighborhood attitude, and Dave is a protector. Dave was like, this one right here, you ain't gonna bother this one. He genuine. So he's been like a door opener. Him and Tamla, man, are like brothers and sisters.
And it's so beautiful to see that black love and still last through. Not
And
only do
it's
they
real.
get money, they like you said, it's real love. You
Yeah.
can see it. It's shining through the screen and everything. I love that.
Oh yeah, it's super real.
But one of the things that I learned from your show is Dave was talking about how he had to really come back into the relationship because he kind of felt like somebody was saying that they felt neglected in the relationship.
Yeah. Well, more so, he is a boss, just like every other man. I call him Joe Jackson. Okay, I'm like, Joe, chill out or whatever. And so what he found himself doing is he was trying to be so protective of everything that he forgot to protect himself.
Okay.
And so he really neglected himself. Tam has always been there to love him, but he neglected himself, running away from poverty even though you got money. And I think we all have those different issues, man. But he teaching cats like me, shout out to Ray J for talking about it.
Right.
Like these mentors teach me all the time, like, bro, you ain't got to do all that. It's okay to say no. It's okay to do this. And so, you know, fortunately enough, I got enough people in my corner to make sure I stay on the right track.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what
for real. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Well, all right, it's closing time. We will see y'all tomorrow for more deep conversations on True Talk. So be sure to follow us on all of our socials and right here on Fox Soul and YouTube. Say goodnight, y'all. We out.